Hey, this is the Astrology for May 2nd, 2016. Life may be dramatically slower for most of us, and we may be uncertain as to why. But we need look no further than the celestial ceiling for the answer. Starting with the end of last week when infamous little Mercury went retrograde, joining Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in their collective backward spin, we are witnessing a slowing down of progress. This may not be all that difficult to recognize since many of these influences have a subtle impact on our daily lives, and some of us are more susceptible to the influence than others. Much of our own personal experiences are based on the configuration of our unique astrological profiles. Aries and Scorpios in particular will undoubtedly feel the Mars retrograde as the foggy veil that clouds the finish line on some of our personal pursuits is readily present. This may be quite noticeable depending upon how attuned you are to your challenges and based on the alignments of your horoscope. Others may simply feel this nagging drag that has subtle tendrils clinging to your feet and dampening your forward motion. Mars goes retrograde for about 10 weeks, and then, of course, there's the shadow period, which shows up early and lingers after the turn of the direction. All in all, time drags into early summer before we get some relief. One planet we typically feel is the Mercury retrograde, which began on April 28th in Taurus and slogs backward until late May. Lest we face this period with a sense of dread, we can take heart in the fact that a retrograde can actually prove to be quite beneficial simply because it is time to reflect. Maybe our progress was too swift and left us wondering if reality was in play, as the great American political process, for example. It should come as no surprise that we march according to the rules of the cosmos, and that the time has come to put away the empty promises and false bravado and step up to the soapbox with tangible policies. Until now, all we have heard is empty platitude and claims of glory that are highly unlikely. This retrograde period will allow us to get a much closer look at the shiny smile of the politician who will no longer be able to avoid the bright lights of scrutiny. Consider the planets that are currently retrograded and examine their archetypal attributes, and let's see what the inverse looks like. Jupiter's expansive optimism may seem like an inflated hyperbole. Saturn's duty-bound promise may now require a long, hard look, and Pluto's call for secretive power-grabbing may now reveal itself as a destructive force waiting in the wings to take down the vulnerable. Not to mention Mars and Mercury, whose swift ambition may become mired in facts, figures, and details. With all of that in mind, we could actually welcome this period with a chance to get a much closer view of what is being presented. What we may see may not be so pretty anymore. Sorry about my dog. Lucy, listen each week to Turning the Wheel podcast on iTunes. Great guests, great topics, information you can use. See, I'm a cottage industry. What are you going to do? I work on my house. Connect to me if you want an astrology reading. I am incredibly valuable, dependable, authentic, highly regarded. And, you would do well by it. I guarantee you'll gain something from it. My website is turningofthewheel.tv, turningofthewheel.com. And I look forward to you. And remember, because my dog is barking, I am in my office. I am a self-sufficient man. If you choose to help me in any way, a cash contribution to help keep this wheel turning would be great. I do not get paid for anything I do, just so you know. Thanks very much. I'll talk to you all next week. Bye.